Sir Handel had been shut up for several days. But on market day, Peter Sam could not work. He needed repairs. So Handel was glad to come out. He tried to be kind, but the coaches wouldn't trust him. He even sang them little songs, but it was no use. It was most unfortunate too that Sir Handel had to check suddenly to avoid running over a sheep. "He bumped us!" screamed the coaches. "Let's pay him out!" The coaches knew that all engines must go carefully at the place near the big station, but it still cost Sir Handel that they didn't care what they did. They surged into Sir Handel, making him launch off the line. Luckily, no one was hurt. Sir Handel limped into the shed. The fin controller expected the damage. "No more work for you today," he said. "Bother those coaches. We must take the village people home to fetch the tourists without an engine." "What about me, sir?" said a voice. "Scallowy," he exclaimed. "Can you do it?" I'll try, answered the old engine. The coaches stood at the platform. Scallowy advanced on them, hissing crossly. "Such behavior! You might have hurt your passengers. On market day too." "We're sorry, Scallowy. We didn't think it's that Sir Handel. He's—" "No tails," said Scallowy firmly. "I won't have it. And don't you dare try tricks on me." "No, Scallowy. Of course not, Scallowy," said the coaches. Scallowy might be old and have dirty paint, but he was certainly an engine who stand no nonsense. His friends crowded around, and the guard had to shoo them away before they can start. Scallowy felt happy. He remembered all the gates and stiles where he had to stop and whistled to his friends. The sun shone, and the wheels were dry. This is lovely, he thought. But presently they began to climb and felt short of steam. "Bother my tubes," he panted. "Take your time, my boy," said his driver. I'll manage." He wheeshed, and pausing for breath at the stations, he gently struggled along after a rest at the top station. Scallowy was ready to start. It was better to be downhill, he thought. The coaches ran nicely, but he soon began to feel tired again. His springs were weak, and the wheel's joints jittered his wheels. Then with a crack, the front springs broke and he stopped. "I feel crooked," he complained. "That's torn it," said his driver. "We'll need a bus for our passengers." "No," pleaded Scallowy. "I'll be ashamed to have a bus take my passengers. I'll get home or burst." He proposed bravely. The fin controller looked at his watch and paced the platform. James and his train waited impatiently too. They heard a peep and groaning and clanking. Scallowy kept into sight. He was tilted to one side and making fearful noises, but he pulled bravely on. I'll do it, he gasped between the clanks and the groans. "I've done it!" And he sighed thankfully as the train stopped where James was waiting. James said nothing. He waited for his passengers, then puffed away. "You're right, sir," said Scallowy to the fin controller that evening. "Old engines can't pull trains like young ones." The fin controller smiled. "They can if the men did, old faithful," he said. "And that's what will happen to you. You deserve it." "Oh, sir," said Scallowy happily. Sir Handel was longing for Scallowy to come back. He thinks Scallowy is the best engine in the world. He does his fair share of work now, and the coaches never play tricks on him because he always manages them in Scallowy's way.